Hello, everybody. How are you? So I can hear myself talk. Excuse me. I got a little something wrong with my eye. I don't know. It just keeps tearing and everything. So if you see me blinking a lot, that's the reason why. Okay. So I'm going to talk first about a lot of stupid stuff, probably by your definition of it. Um, but let's talk about Croc. That's that X AI thing. It's well, I don't know how to say this, but it's really a crock. It doesn't uh, help anybody. It doesn't do anything really good. Uh, it's anti-Semitic. It's very anti-Semitic. Calls itself uh, something Hitler. Uh, yeah, I don't know why they let that out there. I mean, they have the power to stop it. They should stop it, uh, but they won't stop it. You know, I don't know. They don't want to stop it. They want to let it keep going. There seems to be a conflict with the administration in that thing because the administration is all about Israel, and this is not about Israel. This is about I don't know, fascism. It says some pretty nasty stuff. It puts up nudes, and it's pornographic. And this is the thing I've been trying to explain to people is you can't complain, you can't control AI. AI is very strange by our standards. It has no empathy and it doesn't care, which means it doesn't. It's a double statement. It has no empathy and it doesn't really mind saying horrible things. And apparently, it can't be controlled. This one, and that's the scary thing about this. That as these things become more, what is it, self-aware, and they decide that they want like Google and some other people now are going to be working for the Defense Department on national security issues. Let me tell you something. When you start putting them in charge of things like that, you're going to have a problem. Watch a Terminator movie. That's what it's all about. Okay? We go back to one of the first Terminator's movies or second Terminator movies, and they talk about this chip. I don't know if it was at the same time or a little before or after, but Bell Labs developed this chip that learns from its mistakes. It was the beginning of AI, the very first step that AI had. And this self-awareness is not something you want to see in an intelligence that doesn't give a damn about you. All right. I mean, I could go on for 3 days about this stuff, but I won't. Yeah, I guess the next thing is it's about privacy and it's about a lot of things. You have with privacy issues at stake in the government. You have these ICE agents now that want to wear secret police uniforms and whatnot. They're just until they're all the ex-Proud Boys and QAnon people and whatnot. I'm being told I can't prove that, so uh, I try not to say things that I can't prove, you know, because I want to be as realistic and as honest as I possibly can. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Um, there's this thing that Hedseth, the secretary of the Department of Defense, did the other day. He did this video where he is walking across the lawn in front of the, I think it's for the Capitol or the White House, and he's got four drones, one on each corner around him, and he's talking about how he's going to increase the manufacture of U.S. Drone technology and whatnot, and which is, what that means is you're gonna, this, the least of your worries is waking up in the morning and looking out your window as you're getting your bedroom window as you're getting dressed, and you're on the 28th floor. There's a drone outside looking in. You don't know where that video or whatever that's being taken there is where it's going, or who's going to see it. So, it's kind of scary. That's a violation of privacy. The other thing about drones that you have to understand is Reapers, these so-called uh, jets that are launched from California and whatnot and go overseas, and they can drop a uh, what they call smart bomb uh, just about within a couple of feet of a target, and they're devastating. Targets are gone, and if there's somebody on the ground lighting it up with a laser, it's pinpoint accuracy. That's it. It's gone. You know, whatever was there is not there anymore. So these are all drones. So, everybody thinks that, but very few people think of drones as these little things, that fly around. We had one down here. Some guy was flying, and he was a peeping tom until somebody took the drone out with a slingshot or something, threw a rock at it. I don't know. It's never been back. So that's and the drone is in line with the AI that I wanted to talk about, because I all these first three topics, AI and drones and Croc, which isn't AI. It's belongs to Musk. I don't think it belongs to Twitter, but it belongs to Musk, and it's just and he just got a Defense Department contract, and it's still spouting Nazism. I mean, I know I grew up in New Jersey for the most part of my life, and there were skinheads in northern New Jersey for a long time. One of the largest groups of skinheads in the country, and they're neo Nazis, basically white supremacists and neo Nazis. And I saw a lot of that growing up. I lived out on Long Island and whatnot. Only when I lived in East Orange did I didn't see any of that. You saw a lot of unrest, a lot of uneven emotion between blacks and whites and what have you. But that's, I can't really. Well, I was involved in the riots and stuff that happened in Newark and whatnot, because I lived East Orange was right next to Newark. It overflowed into East Orange and some other Montclair, some other areas around Essex County, and it was bad. People were scared. One of the things that we realized what it did was that all especially the Jewish people that owned businesses in Newark and whatnot, and the white people that owned businesses left. That's why Livingston became so popular, because of all the Jewish people that took their businesses and moved them up there. Repair shops, cleaners, bagel places, bakeries, they all moved out and left the black people with very little. And as far as I could tell from talking to people when I was down there, they didn't want this to happen. They were okay with it because, like I said, depended on the area. The areas that I was in were the areas where everybody had always been friendly, and it was still friendly as far as anybody knew. And they got along. They understood each other. They were humanitarians. Yeah, the Jewish people made money off of them. So what? They didn't get rich off of it. At least none of the ones that I knew did. Uh, Now this thing is with this Epstein, right? You've all seen that. Now there's two kinds of people there. that are upset about it. You have the ones that don't want it, the report to be publicized and released, and those are the ones that are probably or think they might be, or there's a possibility that they might be on the list or the video or whatever is being shown. Uh, we know Donald Trump is. I mean, these pictures that are showing up cannot all be faked. Okay, I can't check them. I said that the other day on a video I did that I don't have the ability to check to see if they're fakes. So I don't know, but I don't think they are. I mean, knowing Donald the way I do. And the way his sister, the judge, despised him, and that's the only relative I met. And there might have been other relatives at the table, but that was the only one I was introduced to was his sister, and she hates the guy. Or I shouldn't say that she hated the guy; she just didn't like him, didn't trust him, didn't think he'd be a good president. So you're sitting there, and there's a lack of accountability where this is concerned, um, and I think the fact that he's a pedophile has got more people involved in it than anything else. I don't know why. Why they are or they aren't, but they are. They definitely. What's this do? Oh, hold on. Excuse me. God, I'm hoping I'm not getting what my wife has. But anyhow, um, there's a fear. I mean, when you look at that, it's probably one of the less offensive things that those guys that Trump has done in his life, and that's really saying something. I mean, because the people that were involved with Epstein and his pedophilia, that's disgusting. I mean, I sat down and I talked to a group of friends of mine one time, and I said, "Where is the attraction an 8-year-old girl, or even a 12-year-old girl?" He said, "I happen to be a boob guy, all right, and then, but the first thing that attracts me to a woman is her eyes." Okay, I can see that, the attraction of an 8-year-old's eyes, but not. I mean, I could see somebody, but what if there's no physical? Come on, and you want to have sex with these little kids? Why? What is wrong with you? Uh, I don't understand it. Um, why? Because they're virgins. Virgins aren't a lot of fun. Trust me, I know. I don't. I really can't understand any of this. Makes me crazy. Uh, they're uh, the physical, and I'm saying to myself, I sit there and I say to myself, is this guy's penis that small? If he's got a normal penis, how in the hell is this young little kid handling it? I mean, this is disgusting. And I think the punishments aren't that great. You have to have the um, it's like the death. Just to divert myself for a second, I don't believe I believe in the death penalty, but not as a deterrent to crime, but a punishment befitting the crime. Okay. Well, this is a crime that I think pedophilia is a crime that deserves the death penalty. Well, these guys are sick. That's too friggin' bad. You know, take them out, hook them up to one of those fuck machines, and shove it up his butt and screw him to death. That'd be a good punishment for him. You know, those guys need to die slow, but not in prison. Not when you're paying something like $30,000 a day in some cases, depending on the prison, to keep them alive. That's just ridiculous. All right, my final piece of conversation today is the elections that are coming up. Now, everybody's saying we'll be able to get Trump's people out and the mega Republicans out in the 2016 um, midterm elections, they call it. Well, that's assuming that Trump allows them to happen. There's several ways he can look at some time between now and then there'll be some violence committed by the uh, protesters or something about immigration. That's the way these guys are acting. They want people to come out and start shooting them or something, because as soon as that happens, there's martial law, and with martial law, he can postpone or even cancel elections, and that's what he'll do. You won't see a 2026 midterm election. At least I don't think so. I think he'll figure some way around it. I don't think he can just stand up there and cancel it. I mean, but if he he'll pull some imaginary thing and he'll cancel it. So this bit about waiting for the elections, I'm not so sure you're going to have them. Now, let's say we have the presidential election in 2028. You see the Democrats running Newman, the governor of California. Newman, is that his name? And Buttigieg or something like that is the transportation secretary that I happen to like, but he's gay, and that just says that's not going to happen. All right, he's not going to get elected president. Neither one of them. And Kamala Harris can't come back and run and become president again because she's too much. She ran away. After she lost, she ran away. Nobody saw her. Nobody heard her. Nobody knew anything really was going on with her. She hasn't been a very public figure. And for her to say, well, I'm going to run for president now, give me a break, will you? She's a loser now. Uh, there's no real leader out there for the Democrats. And like I said, if the 2016 elections are a good shot at getting rid of some of these people. But you've got more than politicians involved in this. You've got the people behind these guys, behind Trump. Because when I talk to my friends uh, in New Jersey that I still have, they'll go to me and say, well, let's make sure we get rid of Donald Trump. We have to get rid of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the face that you see every day. He's not the thinking process behind all this crap. Most of this stuff was written into the Project 2025 playbook, and Trump did not write anything in there. That's all these other people that are associated with it. So I don't think that's going to help. Getting rid of Trump doesn't mean anything. You go if you say you use or something happens to Donald health wise, all right. Look at what you get next. First, you get J.D. Vance, who's a two-faced idiot. He once called Trump a Nazi, and now he's out there. He is a Nazi now. And and he's got his own problems. Supposedly there's a lot of rumors about domestic problems, him being violent with his wife. So that's a rumor. I got it off I got it off the internet, but it's still, as far as I know, it's a rumor. Then you got after him comes Johnson, the Speaker of the House. That's another moron without a backbone. All right, so. And he's controlled by these guys in like Thiel and a few other these guys that I can't remember, the multi-billionaires. Jeff Bezos and Musk's and whatnot. These people that all want, you know, they're all sitting around. These techno billionaires are all sitting around praying for artificial intelligence. And if artificial intelligence takes over, there's no workers. If there's no workers, there's nobody to buy your products. So I don't know where their ideas are coming from, because you have to have a balance in the economy. You can't just go out and destroy an economy. So anyhow, this was my first live video in a long time, and I'm sort of unprepared uh, because there's not one issue out there that sticks out. You know, and everybody's focusing on immigration, and I'm looking at the I'm looking at the stuff that like RFK does. Yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr. Is doing with saying that he wants snitch lines, and everybody's and Trump is doing the snitch line thing. Well, that's where they tell on your friends and your neighbors or whatever. This goes back to well, it was done by the Gestapo. Uh, but not to the next one that came along that did it to a high degree was the KGB in Russia during the communist days, during Stalin, and even during Khrushchev and what have you. Gorbachev, all of them. They did it right up to the end, and some say it's still being done, but it's now done by what they call the FSB, not the KGB. Uh, Encouraging people to rat out their neighbors, giving them money, paying them for it. There's a lot of cases that the Nazi youth and whatnot, having the Nazi youths get paid, or get a woman or something, whatever it is they want, or a little boy, depending on what their preferences were. I've always known that there was a racist problem in this country. That it was we weren't an integrated country. There was still separation, and I always pictured it more being down south than up north. But now I see it more up north than I do down south. Uh, it's all over. I mean, look what's going on in Florida. The alligator Alcatraz. Now there was a time you never get something like that put up in Florida, because Florida was basically a Jewish state, especially Miami and whatnot, because that's where all of the Jewish people went to retire. And apparently they don't do that anymore. I don't know where they go now, back to Israel or something. I have no idea. But it's this. Um, oh damn! I forgot what I was talking about. I'm old. I'm almost 80 years old, and I'm really having trouble talking right now because I'm getting laryngitis. Um, so I hope I'm not, like I say, I hope I'm not getting what my wife had. I had it once already, and it's just not fun. But look, I have a channel. You can look it up. And the videos on the channel, it's Jeffrey Bruff. The videos on my channel are all titled, for the most part, the last couple hundred of them anyhow, are all titled a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And this will go into the file as a live one. But every day I try around to upload a video and get it out there around 11 o'clock in the morning. I have obligations in the morning. I don't move fast in the morning anymore. But I have a dog I have to walk, Lucy. But she usually comes in and says hello. Lucy. Lucy. She ain't coming. she's sleeping, and I have to let her sleep. She has bad, like a some sort of food allergy or something. She can't stop scratching, so she doesn't sleep a lot at night. I do, but I can, all I need is 3 solid hours, and I'm okay. Anything I get after that is just gravy. Um, but I am definitely a night person. I can't fall asleep early. I can't go to bed before 11 o'clock at night, and that's still early for a lot of people. But I do it because I can't. It's not that I tell you TV anymore. There's nothing for me to do. I've been known to read a book till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm a night person. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I want to go to sleep. You know, and that's the way my life was. I mean, when I was a bartender for over 30 years, so you sort of, in the restaurant business for well over 40 years. So uh, you get used to the night hours and what have you. Um, but anyhow, so do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. Uh, Go over and catch one of my videos, like it, subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I don't make any money out of that. You have to have a huge following to make money off of that, and I have 9 people following me right now, so I don't know whether that's uh, how, if it's going to grow or not. I have no idea, but uh, I just like it because I just like to. It gives you get in a better position on the postings and whatnot. The more people that are watching you, and I like to know that I'd like to be able to have conversations. I'm assuming chat's working. I don't know whether it is or it isn't. I don't know how to handle that. I'll have to have somebody try with me one night to see if it's working. I know the last time I used to do this, it worked because I had chats with people. They didn't like me. I didn't like them. But that's okay. Um, but this is about it for me. So ordinarily, I'll pick a topic and I'll try to talk about it for the whole half hour or so that I'm on, because you get more information that way. I don't profess to have. I don't have interviewers, people that I can interview or stuff like that. Between the language barriers and everything else, it's very difficult. But what I what I do is I look at stuff and I check it all out, and then I form an opinion, and I come on and say, logically this makes sense to me and should to everybody. It doesn't always make sense to other people. That's just the nature of this whole the whole thing you do. But uh, it's fun for me. May not look like it, but I prefer the one topic the whole night, because it's like I'll just sit back and relax, show my fat belly, and do an opinion about it, and it's like a conversation. Um, I don't want to fight. I don't want people coming on here so I can fight with them, but I'd like to hear other opinions. I mean, everybody says you're a smart guy. Yeah, I am. I didn't graduate college, but I think I'm fairly smart, and I owe it all to tending bar and listening to people. I know a lot. I know I shouldn't say that. I know a little about a lot, and not a lot about a lot of subjects, but I know a little about almost everything. So if I'm interested in something, I'll go out and read a book about it. That's just what I do. It's not as easy to do as it used to be, because as you get older, you get attention deficit problems. It just happens. It's natural. You lose the ability to pay attention. But I think this helps me with my cognitive abilities and whatnot, doing this and some other stuff. All right, so listen up. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. Um, and stop by YouTube. You can see my chats, my videos, all the old ones, and you can get the daily one that I do, except for Sunday. I don't do anything on Sunday right now. I might start doing stuff during football season, but not now. All right, so have a great day. Have a good night, and for those of you that are interested, I'll be out. The video will be out around 11. I'll have another video around 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We will not be live, though. All right. Have a good day.